shake it, baby. Shake it, baby. Ooh, ooh, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. That's how easy it can be. Mm-hmm. 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 It doesn't have to be this way, but it is, you know. I mean, how would I have known what sin is if not for the law? How would I be able to identify it if not for the word of Elohim? You would know them by their fruits. You see, this satanic agenda that Satan will deceive the entire world and, if possible, the very elect. Many are called and few are chosen. And he says, you know, they have eyes to see, but they do not see, and they have ears to hear, but they do not hear the truth. He says, but it's been given to you that you have eyes to see and ears to hear what the Spirit says. And if you say no, then the truth is not in you, see, and I guess you're calling Elohim a liar. If you go against his word, and Elohim does not lie. He can't tell a lie. So he told us the truth about the shape of the earth. Page 1, chapter 1, verse 1 through verse 19. And there are many who are deceived to believe they live on a ball, earth, space. And it's not mentioned in the word whatsoever. It's not reality. It's not something we experience, but we believe it. So now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And yet people put faith in something that they do not experience, or something, I guess they see it by what man shows them, doctrines of men, this satanic agenda. But still, that's a faith that you'll never go to space. Those who believe in space, you'll never go. You know, it's all on the television and whatever they send up in the sky, it comes back down to the earth. And they make it so theatrical for the world to believe, you know, that they're actually leaving the atmosphere. They're going beyond, through, penetrating whatever the firmament of the heavens above the earth, and it's not so. It can't be penetrated. There's only one way to get to heaven, and that's through Elohim's Son, Yahuwah. That is how you get to heaven. Believing in him, believing in his word. So these are just my notes. These are just things that I know in my heart to be true in this world. Vexed. Without any Social Security disability benefits for my vexed belief, my righteous belief that hurts so deeply, long suffering. So that's it for now. I'm shaking all over. I'm shaking. I'm not all that steady these days. I'm going through a lot, and so, you know, wisdom and knowledge that you gain, You know, the more that increases, it increases sorrow. The sorrow, the cross that we bear. You know, when you're treated like a heretic among those who do not gather with you. He says how easily you are removed from the truth, and you scattereth abroad. And Elohim says, those who do not gather with me scattereth abroad. Tossed to and fro like the wind, instead of gathering together. There's a gathering in the beginning, and there will be a gathering in the end as well. Yes, gathering. A gathering of believers. And if you neglect that gathering of believers, you know, right? Like I said, it leaves a person like me out here in the world trying to explain it to others what they've already read, but they don't accept it as truth. The veil. The veil is still there over their eyes. You can accept your environment. You can accept your environment. That nothing comes between the sky and the earth except clouds. Nothing blocks out the sun, the moon, and the stars except clouds from the earth, from the waters, under the sky. Nothing. Clouds do it. Nothing has ever passed in front of the sun that blocks out the sun other than clouds. Nothing. So how could the sun be 92 million miles away? In darkness, by the way. Hello. Being led into darkness. And we're to be children of light. How can we admonish one another in spirit and in truth, and never let the sword of the Spirit depart from our mouths if we don't know it, and we pass a lie on to someone who's supposed to be in the faith, and they're running around chasing after Satan's doctrine, mixing it. Not one jot, not one tittle, in no wise will be removed from the law until all is fulfilled. So there are your jots and your tittles, and then your letters and your words, according to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 through verse 19. Concerning the shape of the earth in Genesis chapter 2, verse 4. This is the histories of the heavens and the earth when they were made in the day that Elohim created and made the heavens and the earth. So why would you go against that and change it to something figurative instead of literal, your literal environment? That you're not upside down. Water is always level. The sky is above you. The moon is above you. The stars and the sun are above you. And we live under. That governs over. Governs the day and the night. Star constellations are the same. They move in the circumference of the firmament of the heavens above the earth, where he drew a circle and gathered the waters together underneath. It's vast. It can't be measured. And yet the ball earth was measured at 666. See these things, and no one takes notice of them. And lack of knowledge is destroying Elohim's people. Ignorance is bliss. condemnation without investigation is the highest form of ignorance. All of these things are going on in the churches that I would have someone or many, like say like that woman, she had a cross on. That's why I asked her, is she a Christian? She's wearing a cross. So what degree of Christian she is you know what I'm saying? It's staggering. You know, that we can't unify. You know, a house divided will fall. Together we stand, divided we fall. Satan desires to sift us like wheat, to see who's going to fall through the cracks. There's a shifting. Many they lose their faith. They don't have that full faith, you see. And holding on to that faith to the very end, no matter what anybody says, as what is required of us in this world. They did not notice my Savior, my Messiah, until after the crucifixion. Then, oh yeah, he truly was the Son of Elohim. So it's written in his word that they will overlook his children as well in this world. His children will not be noticed. You see? Anyone who tries to save their life will lose their life, and anyone who loses their life for Yahuwah's name's sake will be saved. And when you start to see these things come to pass, lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Where's heaven? Where's heaven? Up. We're talking about up, right? You talk to someone who goes to that satanic church called universities. They will write it all out for you. Well, how do you know which way is up? With all their complicated man's doctrine instead of the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. But they willfully forget. They willfully forget that the earth stands in water and out of water. But I was actually just gonna put in the time here, which I don't know if this time is off or not, but I have 12:04 p.m. Wednesday, March 11th, is when I'm just living my daily life here and just mandating it, I suppose. This year 2020. 2020 is perfect vision, isn't it? 2020 is perfect vision. Ain't that right, America? It's un-American to not say Merry Christmas. God bless America. You walk up on people, I'm an atheist. See? It's un-American, isn't it? There'll be many scoffers in the last days. And President Trump, he announced that that we have a military unmatched. Yeah. Many are taking that military oath. fight for what they believe in, and anyone who disagrees. Public enemy number one. Oh, not this one. I have it taped up. I have this taped up. But it's all right here. I'm not going to clap it. It's taped up. So, I'll take out the mini. The mini. Elohim, he says, I'll give you the desires of your heart. Where do you want to go? You want to go to heaven. Because you can forget that chariot of the God stuff. Maybe I didn't say it clear enough. Forget that chariot of the God stuff. Ain't no metal ship gonna get you to heaven. It's not gonna happen that way. Okay, you're gonna leave the body. When Elohim says, "Come hithereth," oh yeah, he raises the dead from that one death. We all die. So there in his word, the day of death is better than the day of birth. But there are many who experience a second death. Yeah, that judgment. Because it's impossible. It's impossible to please the Elohim without faith. Because now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Now, surely, I see the sky and I see the heaven. I do see it. And I do believe it. So now my faith is put to work, because faith without works is dead. So I believe that that's heaven right there, according to Elohim's word. The sky. That's my faith, even though I see it. I don't see what's above it. I don't see him who resides above, who watches over the circle of the earth and all its richness and its vastness, unmeasurable, that shall not be moved. So there, I just want to get this off my chest. See, that lady I just came across, she triggered this. She triggered this for me to record this. See, I've been out of contact. I've been out of public view. I haven't spoke in a while, and I don't know. I'm just living my life right now, dealing with the way I heard someone put it, that it happens to the best of us. Divorce. Elohim's against divorce. He says wives must not separate from their husbands. Wives, reconcile unto your husbands. The commandment is don't separate from your husband. So that is a commandment. Okay, so that is what I'm going through, and I'm vexed about it. My heart is in misery. I'm different now that this has happened to me. This long suffering. But courage. Elohim says, I say, be of good courage. Before I totally understood the parables, I didn't have the answers to give people when I was out there publicly speaking on the behalf of the kingdom of heaven. But now I can truly say that the reason why all this is happening in the world is because an enemy has done this. The enemy has done this according to the parable. So don't blame Elohim. He came to restore perfection. The wicked shall be removed from the earth. They'll be gathered together into a bundle to be burned. And the faithful and the just will be gathered together and taken into the barn. And there will be a transformation. There will be a transformation. A new name written on you as well. A name that there's no language for here on this earth that Elohim will name us. Your name written in the Lamb's Book of Life. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Repent and believe the gospel and do what it says. It's not for lip service only. So we are to believe in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 to verse 19, that the earth is flat. Look around. Do some experiments. With your eyes, and with your ears, and with your five senses and everything. Jump around, do something. Stand on your head, do something. Do something. Try to gather up water and something different than this. Try to do that. Try to gather water here. In any experiment that you do. And see, will you get the result of what Satan is teaching the entire world. Because, in his word, he says that when I was a child, I thought as a child, I reasoned as a child, but when I became a man and adult, I put away those childish thinkings. Right? We're to be fruitful. Right? Be fruitful. We're to grow in the faith. Not remain as babes sucking on infant milk. We have to chew on this. We need to chew on this food that adults eat. Red pill, blue pill, pick one. He says, how long you hesitate between two options? How long are you going to hesitate between two options? Says, choose this day whom you will serve. He says, you're either with me or against me. So if you want to do the will of Elohim, then you're to speak the words of Elohim. There's no buts to it. You don't add buts to Elohim's word. Follow it to the letter. Or else you deceive yourself. Or else you deceive yourself. Hey, I heard that guy sneeze. You hear him sneeze out there? What's that all about? Huh? He did it again. He's sneezing like, that's those big sneezes, man. Why, should he be blessed for that? Huh? Well, open up the good book and read about being blessed. And see that you have to put your faith to work. Faith without works is dead. So blessings come from doing what Elohim's word says to do. He sneezed again. Wow. There's a thing he's doing. You understand? I mean, a pedophile can sneeze. Right? The sun shines on the good and the bad. So you're going to bless an evil person for sneezing? Huh? You see, we're to admonish one another in spirit and in truth. Admonish. Season our conversations with grace. And you know what? In his word he says, do not quench the spirit. Don't quench it. Don't fan it into flames. He says you're the light of the world. A city that is on a hill cannot be hidden. You don't light a candle, lantern, and put it under the table. No, you put it on the table so it gives light to the entire room. So let's not hide the truth. Let's not hide the truth. Let's speak the truth and only the truth. And everything will be all right for the most part. Then others will be saved because that's what we're required to do. Preach the gospel truth. And we're to identify when it's not the truth. We're to recognize it. And we're to check it when it just don't match. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be throwing that ball of earth in my face and expect me to go along with your little ticker tape parades, because I ain't down with that. I find it offensive, that you get offended by religion, at work. Don't bring that religion to work, but you can talk about space at work. So you're talking about religion. You're talking about a satanic religion. Openly, and it's not even being checked. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? It is unchecked. Because everything nowadays is what is considered good is now being considered evil, and what was evil is being considered good. It is the norm. It's very confusing. It's very confusing to those who don't understand. It hasn't been given to them, the mysteries to the kingdom of heaven. But he that wins souls is wise. And anyone who can turn a sinner from their ways covers a multitude, right? Covers a multitude of whatever you've been taught to believe, and you can then ask for the old path. Ask for the old path, not the new the fandangle way, that it's broad and many there go into that road of destruction. But we're talking about that narrow way that leads to eternal life, and very few find it. And we're to teach that. We're to preach that. I don't mean to say teach. We're to admonish. Because my Yahuwah, he asked someone, he says, why do you call me teacher? Why do you call me good? See? So we're not to think of ourselves any higher than we ought to. We're to be lowly. We're to be lowly. And we're to remember from whence we were, in a state of, not having clarity. And we're to be kind to each other, and not judge one another. So, Elohim, one of his last words there on the cross was, forgive them, Heavenly Father, for they do not know what they do. They don't know. People don't know because of the force, the evil force. That evil force, you know what I'm saying? The Jedi. The Jedi. You know what I'm saying? The dark side. So, I may be clowning, but I can mix it up. It's all hidden in plain sight. It's all here. The New World Order is here. The beast system is here. It's right here. It's everywhere. It's right here. I see people walk around, they get tattoos on the back of their neck. Pyramids, all seeing eyes, some of the most evil stuff, their clothing, everything. Jewelry, everything. Same-sex marriages and just all these things are going on, and what's this thing with these with these priests marrying one another, man marrying man, in their priesthood. And you call him father. And Elohim says, call no man your father. You have one father. I have one master. I have one master. He says, if you have two masters, you will love one and hate the other one. You see? We're not to have two different type of weights in our hand. How about symmetry? This is why it comes to this, opposed to leaning to the left and to the right. I got a sneeze coming on. Got rid of it. So, based on the things I've said now, this ain't public. It's a private video. All right? It can be edited. These things are on my mind all the time. We're to pray without ceasing. We're at war. We're at war. Because, he says that they do not sleep without plotting evil against you. You see, we're constantly under fire. They're constantly devising evil against Elohim's people. And Satan roams about to and fro in this world, looking to see who he can devour. He devours those who don't have faith in the truth. Yeah, The Walking Dead, Zombieland, you see? All these things. Yeah, global warming. Satan turning up the heat. That's all that is. See all these things going on. Outwardly, right? They look like sheep, right? But inwardly, they're ravaging wolves. So I can recognize these people. I can recognize them because bad company corrupts good character. you know, you see, and they're bad. They super bad, and they're corrupting people. They're corrupting people with all these things they're doing. These Luciferians. That's their god. So they're dedicated. They're dedicated on hating Elohim. They had said to Elohim, we will not walk in your way. We will not take that path in which you say. We will follow Satan. He can give us everything we want right now. They getting it. They getting it while the rest of us suffer. So you have to get initiated. You choose. You choose. People choose in this world. So that's that. Those are my notes for now. And I guess it's best for me just to pause this, right? Because I'm not trying to drag it out. I'm sincerely just speaking from the heart. Yeah, call me paranoid, right? Then give me my Social Security disability for the illness that I have. Give it to me. I'm eligible. I qualify. I qualify then for being under duress, under and being stressed out. 24/7, pressed on every side. Pressed on every side, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but by darkness and principalities and rulers and high places. And you see? Yeah. So, I'm just gonna add this, that, just to say that food that our ancestors used to eat must have been delicious. Because what we get now, ain't no telling. We don't even know what food tastes like. So when new heaven and new earth, the aromas and the taste and everything's going to be brand new. Things we never seen before, things we never tasted before, all those things. Everything will be just the way it's supposed to be before this enemy start running the world, fell like lightning. And the heavens rejoice, but woe to the inhabitants of the earth. Yeah, the God of this world. Yeah. Again, why is it allowed? Well, read the parable. It says, do you want us to harvest this up right now? Because, these weeds are being mixed up with the wheat. And the owner of the field says, no, let them grow together. And come harvest time, then we'll separate them. And then it goes on to the gathering of those two groups and how that'll be dealt with, Like, so we're here. We're here. Trying to help those who go against it and wake them up. My Elohim says, help the blind to see. Help them. See, that's a better word, isn't it, than teach, help. And we're to honor our help, right? My Elohim is my helper. So, if I'm helping someone, shouldn't they honor me as well? If I'm at work and I applied for something that says help wanted, and I get on the job and you treat me like crap, and you're not honoring your help. You treat me like a slave. And we don't treat our Elohim that way. We honor him, right? Praise him. Bless the Elohim. Bless someone then, see? When they're helping you. So, you know, Elohim's word also says that, you know, pay attention to how you treat others in this world, because you might be entertaining an angel.